Greetings, all you Jackson Jennets, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. Unfortunately, it's just Viking Donkey tonight, as Christmas time. Laskers and Gingy, I have busy schedule, as you can tell if anyone's watching it live. I'm streaming at like 2 a.m. in Alaska, which is 6 a.m. for all you East Coast people, and then figure it out from there because I'm not too good with the math at this point of the day. Anyway, I figured I'd come here. I figured I'd do some Steelers talk. We got some things to talk about last week, some things to talk about before the game against the Chiefs this week. I do the AFC North recap, but it's kind of boring if I do it by myself. So you saw a lot of teams lose. The Steelers get right back into the hunt of things. Whether or not they can stay there is up for debate, as they made up a lot of ground, but still aren't in the playoff picture as of yet right now on the outside looking in, but can fix that here with a couple games essentially where if they win out, they are guaranteed to be in the playoffs. So, playoffs start today essentially. Can't really afford a loss. The Chiefs game is going to be big. Need to get it going. But let's talk about the Tennessee game from last week first. I don't think the offense even had 200 yards. It was ugly. It wasn't good. The 4 turnovers only led to like 4 field goals. The defense played great in the second half. Not so great in the first half. But that Tennessee team, which I know they looked a little better this week, but the thing is, we got to play them without Derrick Henry, without A.J. Brown, and Julio Jones got hurt in the first quarter. That is the perfect recipe. The Steelers started taking advantage, and even though they ran for 200 yards, still not good look for the defense, they didn't get a whole heck of a lot of points because they turned the ball over. They tried to throw the ball a lot. And again, a team that's beating the Steelers going into the second half, for some reason, throws the ball, turns the ball over, and lets the Steelers right back into the game. You love to see it. Ben didn't turn the ball over. Not what I was predicting. I thought he'd be a little sloppy with it. The clean style of football the Steelers played ended up being enough to get the win and keep the playoff hopes alive going into Kansas City this week. Now, this is going to be a different type of game. COVID is ravaging through both teams. I know the Chiefs just got Tyreek Hill back. They're hoping they can get Kelsey back before the game. Let's hope not, because tight ends kill the Steelers. But still, they'll have Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, Gordon's there, Pringle's there. They have a nice set of receivers out there, even if Kelsey and Blake Bell can't play. So they might miss both their top 2 tight ends. And when you look at the Chiefs, this is a team that has really started to play good defensively. So what do the Steelers need to do to get it going? Let's start offensively. Against this Chiefs defense, the defensive line's playing good. I mean, Ingram's looking like he fits in perfectly over there. Wish we wouldn't have traded him there. The secondary's playing fine. This offensive line starts needing to get a push. They haven't done it in a long time. Najee needs to get established. Maybe get some deep passes from Ben that are completed. And let's be honest, if we force turnovers, the offense needs to capitalize. No more of this 3-and-done stuff. No more of this barely getting a field goal stuff. That is not going to get it done against the Chiefs. Chiefs have an explosive offense. And the Steelers are already going to be without Freiermuth. So who's going to step up? Is this the game that we see James Washington continue to shine? We see Deontay Johnson break out again. We see Chase Claypool have a great game, which, by the way, stat line of the week for anyone who didn't know. Chase Claypool had 12 receiving yards, or maybe it was 11, but he didn't have a single reception. So his yards per catch was infinite, as he apparently got receiving yards without a catch on that weird play where Ben shoveled the ball forward to, I believe it was Ray McCloud, who then pitched it back to Chase Claypool on the reverse, and because it was a forward pass on the first time, all yards go down as passing yards. So Ray got a catch for no yards, and Claypool gets 12 receiving yards with no catch. That's a good thing to see. That's fun to see. But yeah, obviously the offensive line needs to get it going. These guys have been bad for a while. I think Hassenauer just got reinstated from the injury list. So, maybe he gets in there. Maybe he helps a little bit. Yeah, not holding my breath. The statue known as Ben Roethlisberger hopefully does not get crushed in this game, can stay healthy and can throw the ball effectively. preferably down the field, but the way the offense has been going the last few games, I'm not sure if that's really even in the game plan. So what do the Steelers need to do to stop Patrick Mahomes and company? Well, first and foremost is actually make Mahomes probably throw the ball, because if you watch the Steelers the last month and a half, you know they can't stop the run. And I don't think the Chiefs will be complaining if they get a run for 250 yards against the Steelers, or 200 plus like everyone else has. And Edwards-Helaire is a pretty good running back. I mean, who knows if he's a great running back, but he's good enough to get things done. The receiving core there is good. If Kelce doesn't play, I think that's a huge bonus to the Steelers. Obviously, defensively, turnovers have been the key for the Steelers. When we get them, we do good. So you're looking at guys maybe forcing fumbles, getting interceptions, being Johnny on the spot like Schobert has been. Any of the ones. I mean, balls falling into the hands of Joe Hayden. Maybe we see some Minka magic. Maybe Terrell Edmonds gets another turnover that he hasn't had in a little while. I don't know. That's what you have to do. You have to let bad Mahomes that we saw early in this season reemerge. I'm not even sure if it's capable of reemerging at this point, but if he is, bad Patrick Mahomes would be a really cool thing to see. It would really give the Steelers a good chance at winning the football game. So with that in mind, I think the Steelers need to stack the box, stop the run, force some turnovers. That means you're probably looking at a single high safety a lot more often than not, which can be dangerous against the Chiefs. But I think Minkah Fitzpatrick becomes your X factor, because he's the guy who's going to need to get the game going for the Steelers, so to say. He's going to need to force that turnover. He's going to need to make those 12 tackles. He's going to need to be that explosive force, that guy that was traded for a reason. And hopefully he can do it for us. Couple other things. I mean, Presley Harvin, I believe his dad died on Christmas Day. It's so sad to hear that. You wish him nothing but the best. But that leaves a big hole in the Steelers' punting game. Brought in a couple guys. Corliss Whitlis was a guy who was here on the practice squad last year a little bit, and training camp this year, training camp last year. And I don't remember who the other guy brought in was, but the way these rosters are getting ravaged by COVID right now, and injury right now for the Steelers, I mean, you're talking guys like Freiermuth is out, Chris Wormley's going to be out. Something needs to happen. Health needs to come. Maybe Wireless comes in and has a great game. I'd assume he's the guy who gets the call just purely because he's worked with Boswell before, so a little bit of familiarity maybe. So we'll see. Hopefully the punting game comes up big for us and doesn't hurt. Hopefully, you know what? Actually, hopefully we never have to see him in the punting game, whichever one does it, and we get to see him work well. You know, just holding the snaps and letting Boz kick him right through the uprights like Boz does. Now, as for prediction, because we're going to try to keep this week nice, short, and sweet since it is Christmas. Well, now the day after. I think the Chiefs win this game by 14. I just don't see the Steelers stopping this offense, and I think this is the one where realization comes to be harsh. But even if they lose this game, the way the AFC has been losing games, they still have a chance. So I'm not going to give up on playoff hopes, but I do not see the Steelers winning this one. I see them down 14 to the Chiefs. Let's go final score, Kansas City 30, Pittsburgh 16. I believe that's right. That is. Quick math says that is. Now, let's get to shout-outs. You got to give shout-outs to Pro Bowlers. You know, TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, way to do it. TJ Watt, you know I always give shout-outs to records. Single-season sack record holder for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good to see. Good to see the 4 turnovers. Have to love what the defense produced, giving up nothing to the Titans in the second half. That's exactly what you want to see. Hopefully next week we get Laskers, we get Gingy, we get to have more positive talk, no negative talk, but we'll see what's going on in the week leading up to the Ravens game. Once again, it's your boy, the Viking Donkey. You know where to reach me. Viking Donkey, Xbox, Viking_Donkey, Twitch and Twitter. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. Leave us a follow on your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger, the YouTube channel, because I know that's where y'all come to get your Steelers talk, your Steelers knowledge. And hey, we're going to Kansas City, but you know what? Steeler Nation, we're still in the playoff hunt. We still, I believe, technically control our own destiny. So, wave them if you got them. Here we go.